framing. Now let's see if this is gonna work today.
Start number.
Probably. From chapter start. Yeah, let's do it again. No.
Sure, why not?
Oh god. April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Now we have music, so you can, like, check if the sound's working.
I already did. It's working.
Woohoo.
That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I'd think you would know the answer to that.
Oh, are you insinuating Phoenix?
That I'm Daddy Phoenix.
I'm definitely Phoenix.
Ah, being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice?
Yes, sir.
The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo.
Can I ask you something?
No. Sure.
That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright?
Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket? Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there.
Wow, blurry picture. Love. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter.
Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days.
One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you?
What do you think?
Huh?
You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. That being your mom. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I never! Honest! But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years.
Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker.
Eh?
You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. I know how to read. That makes me better at poker than most people. In that way, it's a lot like a court case.
Poker? It's like trial law?
Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win.
Well, yeah. That's harder than it sounds.
I think not.
Shock.
Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
This is true. You're kidding!
That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony.
Oh. Okay.
Ever play L.A. Noire?
No.
Did you notice?
No. Come on, who noticed that?
Words, habits, Twitch.tvs. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you.
But I'm not worthy! I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals.
No, you can do it.
Huh?
You just don't know it yet.
What's he talking about?
But you will. Soon. Ah, almost forgot. One more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
You're a liar, Phoenix, right?
Yes.
What? I knew it!
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your chikara.
I got the touch. I got the power. My, power? I had no idea my quartz steel were that special.
You can dragon shout, Apollo.
Oh my god.
It's time.
I have to call at least one stream Dragon Shout.
The real trial begins now. Do your best. Well, you can't use that title because I've already used that title.
Oh well, we would have been right next to a to be continued. Anyway. I didn't know that. Would you like to save? Yes, sure, why not? Do not turn your power off.
No,
I won't.
yeah,
Don't worry.
no one's gonna blame you because you're playing blind. You couldn't have known.
Yeah. April 20th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Coop will now reconvene. As our witness, Miss Olga Orley recovered.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. We're slave drivers in this courtroom. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand.
She's kinda cute though.
She is cute. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession.
Ellipsis.
Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor little liar and a poor loser.
Kristoff! Oh my gosh, this man's savage. Not. Oh. Mommy? Mommy? I simp. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Why is she kinda... Oh,
Yeah.
she's kinda cute though. Okay. I gotta like try to get my accent in.
She went from, hello ma'am, nice to meet you, to, your son calls me mommy too.
There's Phoenix, who is daddy, and then there's Olga, who is mommy. And this is what's happening. Name's Ola Orly. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. That was horrible, but anyway. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orly.
Oh, really?
Want to know something else?
Yes, please.
I'm not really Russian. And my last name sounds like, oh, really? There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied.
So she's not Russian, she's
Yay,
Irish.
I don't have to do a Russian accent. Well, witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night.
You don't have to do a Russian accent, you have to do an Irish one. She's Olga O'Reilly.
I don't know what an Irish accent sounds like.
How are we related?
I'm so bad at accents, man. Like, I can't imagine accents. I have to hear it, and then I may be able to repeat it, but I can't imagine them beforehand.
Can you even imagine speaking English?
No! Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath.
The judge is eating popcorn.
Further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine.
Judge is just eating donuts on the bench.
Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game. As
You
a
got it first try, I'm proud of you.
I'm getting better. See, I can read sometimes. So you were in cahoots with the victim? Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When the hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swap the cards. I don't know who said that.
You swap the cards.
Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
I'll dash your mom. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins.
A 7-year-old legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
Oh really, O'Reilly? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree, the trap was elegant. Yet, what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right! He's lucky I'll give him that. You'd have to be too slip. You'd have
to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers O'Reilly.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that. It was just weird. Anyway, I'm weird.
They should have put a comma there.
Yeah, I was just like, what am I reading?
O'Reilly. The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick, and if she smiled more, and if she sucked my dick.
Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. Sexy. You hear me? Sexy!
When you're through being sexy, perhaps you could testify to the court? Cutie? Tell us about this trap, and how it was sprung, sweetheart.
Why is the judge always, like, flirting with the female characters in this?
I'm a horny old man.
Especially if they're... Well, not especially if they're underage, but even the underage ones. Circus K's. The best laid traps.
To be fair, he didn't actually flirt with her, he just said, I suppose I could have proposed to her too.
That's so fucking creepy, man. That night
it's not that much better, but there is a difference.
Yeah. That night I played the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a ball and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you. Perfect! The run cheer had messed it up. Look who's talking.
Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? Now, Phoenix gave us a little hint. Is there anything where she puts, you know, her arm behind her back? Which we can press? Oh! Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? You searched Mr. Wright, thoroughly and found nothing? Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. What? Well... Oh. Okay. What was that just now? I sensed something.
She's falling for you, Apollo.
Something wrong, Mr. Justice.
No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Press. Miss Orley, you're hiding something.
It's O'Reilly.
What are you talking about? Me? Quick fingers? O'Reilly? I don't know what else she said.
Me? Quick Fingers O'Reilly? Hide something?
The defense will refrain from baseless accusations.
I have one question for the witness then.
Are you single?
You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is that true? Of course it's true.
Then why are you scratching your ear?
I did see it, honest. I saw it when Mr. Wright hit him. With my own eyes, I saw it.
It turned me on so much. Just thinking about it makes me wet.
Let's see that makes me wet. Oh, ooh, Daddy Phoenix. Ooh. Daddy Phoenix pulling in all the mommies. What's this weird vibe I'm
Although,
getting?
isn't she only like 23? Not even.
She's 21.
She'll be a mommy when Daddy Phoenix is done with her.
Phoenix?
This just happened. Don't need to reread it.
But like, what about if we want to reread it? Harbor. Touching her neck, was it?
If you want to do a Phoenix impression.
You mean my Phoenix voice from the last game?
No, do an impression of me. Because I'm Phoenix right now.
What's happening? Whoa! What's going on? This sensation! It's coming into focus! There! That twitch! It's so clear! It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before.
Gotcha!
Whoa, this is new. This is odd. New mechanic. Love. Miss, what was it again? Was it Orly or, O'Reilly or,
It's apparently supposed to be O'Reilly, but O'Reilly is better. She's not Russian, she's Irish. Better twist.
Miss O'Reilly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what?
Of how huge my dick is.
Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck. So what? Are you staring at me and how beautiful my neck is?
What indeed, Justice? Are you a sexual harassment case waiting to happen? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort.
When she says that part of the testimony, she subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to that memory and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
She's touching the hickey Daddy Phoenix gave her.
Oh my god! She's like, I
This is
remember that
highly
night.
unusual. But let's ask the defense. Did you give Miss O'Reilly a hickey?
No, Your Honor.
And who did?
Phoenix Wright. That's what he was doing instead of murdering the victim.
You claim the witness is remembering something.
That would be one heck of an alibi.
Would it?
Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us?
Do I? Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what will remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss O'Reilly, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed that it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind the habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an erasable impression on your neck is this. It was your mother. Your mother? Your mother. What do we have here?
It was your money.
I
Okay,
mean,
what in the evidence would leave a mark?
Not that. Nothing over here. I mean, literally, deadly bottle, I think, is the only thing. Because all we have are photographs. And of course, actually, it was our attorney's badge. Yeah, no, I don't think it's anything else. Because, all the rest are just photographs. I don't think they have anything in them.
Look at these photographs. Every time I do, they make me laugh.
Not this. Nothing here. Yeah. Should I make a save state? I will. I
How
mean,
could she have been hit with the deadly bottle if she's still alive?
you can be hit with a ball and still be alive.
Not a deadly bottle, though.
Not a deadly bottle.
That's what it does. It makes you dead.
What else do we got? Yeah, I think that's the 100%. Well, I'll figure out it along with Apollo. I'll figure it out. Probably.
Take that!
Let's try it. Remember, she talks about the moment of the crime. She touches her neck. And what reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
What's he talking about now? Why is she in me?
It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit, not you!
This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witnesses' habits? They're completely irrelevant.
You're also irrelevant, Payne.
Fuck you, Apollo.
Justice. I'll admit I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination.
Haha, thank you for the compliment, sir. I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her.
Break her? But she's
Mr.
not a
Riley,
Kit Kat
please
bar.
testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment! Night. I am knowing nothing.
Yet.
Oh, right.
Yet. I am knowing nothing. Yeah.
I am knowing nothing either.
I am knowing nothing either.
We know you're not Russian.
The witness will testify, please. Now. And do it in a sexy voice.
Bah, fine. Just having a little fun. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there. You seem uneasy. You try staying up here. Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. This is a game of hot and cold now, folks. Tell me, after a crime, what was the defendant like?
Cold.
Well...
Because it was cold in that restaurant.
Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat a daze at the table until the cops came. Very intriguing, and he was the one who called the cops. But anyway.
I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this bitch. So, what do you think about the bitch's testimony?
I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is... flawed! Is basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence.
What's evidence? Are we French now?
Well, are we French? Show us this evidence, Monsieur Justice. The evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony.
She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. Not check. I meant to present.
Yes, check.
Mr. Riley, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant! Ugh. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club. Ah!
Yeah, can I get a meat lovers?
Can I get a meat lovers? So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Eek!
Borscht everywhere, comrade.
The man who picked up a ball and swung it that night wasn't the defendant.
You heard her, Your Honor. I'm innocent.
Showdown time.
Showdown time.
You dirty cheat.
You dirty cheat. Check his pockets. Ah.
Go.
That's Olga.
You can't.
He lives.
Ah!
Just then, Smith grabbed the ball from next to right, and he hit me.
You, some master of cheating, you turned out to be.
Eek! When I came to,
The victim was already dead? Is that it?
that's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure.
Well, where does this leave us?
Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all this.
We would like to hit you with a ball, Pain.
I would like to be in a coma.
I would like to be in a coma. Oh.
It appears our prosecution wishes to be in a coma, and frankly, I also want that. I want Payne in a coma, not myself. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events?
Mr. Gavin, sir?
I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss O'Reilly a big, fat liar.
Are you calling me fat?
Yes.
What?
You're fat. 3 were in that room the night of the murder. The defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive.
A motive?
A reason to murder. Her plot foiled. The witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of that argument was murder.
French. What? I didn't! I'm no killer! It's a trap! Someone's trying to frame me!
What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled, we catch ourselves in the process.
Daddy Phoenix.
Such a hasty conclusion. Not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying, Daddy Phoenix? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder.
Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess.
A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the cards didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. A 4th person.
Objection!
This theory again. Your fourth person doesn't exist. There are only 3 people.
Indeed.
And we know that there obviously couldn't be a fourth person because... Yeah.
That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape, and no chance for Decepticons.
Transformers.
Perfect place to catch the real criminal.
The real criminal.
And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. And right at the beginning of the trial, no less.
What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about.
Mr. Wright, I don't know if I do. Sorry, you think I remember that far back, sir?
Remember what I said? I fucked your mom. The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error.
He or she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Right.
Right,
Sorry.
right. But how could such an obvious mistake occur, Starburst?
If they weren't in the room beforehand?
The obvious mistake of you thinking an Apollo line was being red over Phoenix. The cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there is one person here, in our court, who thought those cards were blue.
Yeah, I have that impression too, but why? Are they colorblind? Do they think blue is really the superior color?
Which it is. Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was, and that blue is better than red scientifically?
It's not me, I swear. I love blue.
Who is this fourth person?
Why do I always get put on the spot like this?
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? This one's basically just process of elimination.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, let's see. It was obviously Kristoff. Obviously. Wasn't...
Payne's denial was awfully specific there. Nobody was suspecting him.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine? I don't think it was Payne. It would
Well,
be...
Phoenix is saying there was a fourth person.
I mean,
And there are only two people. There are only two people outside of the three already established
yeah.
on this list. So
I don't know why it would be Payne though. I guess we'll find out.
coin flip. Apollo, do you seriously think that?
I mean, wait. This probably is Kristoff because isn't there was something? Didn't Phoenix say you should know to him earlier or something? I'm dumb. Anyway.
I guess I should have known better than to trust an attorney who thinks red is better than blue.
I think I'm seriously confused.
I'm seriously sorry. That didn't go well.
Well, can't be helped. I almost missed it myself. But it doesn't do anyone any good to turn their eyes away from the truth. Does it, Kristoff?
Eh? Mr. Gavin?
You don't mean...
Kristoff Gavin, you were the fourth person that night.
But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. Unless, Mr. Gavin, are you colorblind? And do you think that blue is the superior color?
How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards were blue, the ones on the floor or the table.
But look! You can see the colors in this photo.
Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light.
Oh, I don't remember that. We're gonna push now. It is true the defendant was
True that
engaged.
the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim? Oh, it is true. Yet it was only that. A game in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor.
Competition?
Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards. Their backs wreathed in blue flame. Oh, its final outcome.
Completely forgot he said this. But anyway, thank you for reminding me, game.
Well, Kristoff?
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just so sudden. Right. You aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Kristoff. You know even I'd never take a joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder.
My defense attorney is actually Apollo, not Kristoff.
I assure you, I'm quite sane.
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim?
I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met.
My pain is slipping into Sylvester Stallone. Well, what if they have? Didn't think about that one, did you, Pain?
Who?
The doing?
There is a possibility, after all. They must have met that night before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the courts!
The defense would like to request no such thing. Also,
Mr.
Apollo is
Gavin?
dumb and smells. Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happening before that game of poker be related? Smile.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. You're sounding pretty sus right now.
I'm pretty sus, bro.
As I explained before, the defense believes that Miss O'Reilly...
Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you.
Booyah.
Good.
Except
Mr.
I'm not very good at Ace Attorney yet. I may have actually skipped that line. Did not mean to. Doesn't matter.
How dare you? How dare you, Starburst? I will never forgive you for taking that line away from me. That was my favorite line in the game.
I can reload the save if you want.
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
Yes. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was playing this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court! Oh, we are French.
To Justice? You would betray me, your teacher? No, we're German.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth.
You know, I just realized you take a lot of the things I say quickly like that as jokes, but that is genuinely the truth. Gavin is of German descent.
Oh. Cool.
Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand. Please.
Well, he was speaking French just then, though. Silly clown.
Yeah, because he's a pretentious fuck. Appetite for murder. I never kill on an empty stomach. That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police and order a pizza. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Boar Club the night of the murder, comrade.
I dine with him rather frequently. We're fuck buddies.
We're fucked, buddy.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder.
Quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Daddy Phoenix? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth.
Phoenix, you're sounding
And
a
MILFs.
lot like of Edgelord right now.
As I did back then, and now.
Back then.
I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong.
Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice?
Sir?
He's lying and you're going to expose him. Go over there and pull his pants down right now.
Understood, Sir. Mr. Gavin versus Daddy Phoenix. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
With the phrase? No way!
No way. Okay, I'm just gonna press everything because I don't know what the right statement is.
We had dinner.
You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? Were you fucking?
Jealous? Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Boar Club quite frequently, comrade. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual... as usual.
Usual?
I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner?
Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2 hours, and Christoph left. After that, Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left.
5 minutes? So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time.
That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Oh, Mr. Wright. What was it you said? Mr. Gavin and Shoddy Smith may have met?
I believe I did say that.
True, I was all nervous about this meeting. And now we hear they just passed in the hall.
That does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that was all that really happened.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Why are you hiding this time? Just say the whole truth already.
When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress.
About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga O'Reilly mentioned. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. It was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal five aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted
You're turning
card.
into Yogi Bear.
The trap
And the trap would snap shut!
You
You swap the cards!
Just like that.
Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces!
I can't see it now, oh my god.
Yeah, a harmless prank, really. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it.
The quirk?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card when I was reaching for my...
The card she planted.
Yeah, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I stuffed the card inside the bottle.
Was it just grape juice, Phoenix, though? Or could have been wine?
It was grape juice, even in Japanese.
An empty bottle of grape juice.
The murder weapon?
Yeah, I rolled it up and shoved it in. Just like with your mom. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
Daddy Phoenix. Oh.
A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like terrific drama.
A card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
I mean, the police employ gumshoe, so obviously they miss a lot.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3, approves of this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I discovered the trap during the game, and
Nope.
disposed of the card in a bottle.
I want percent. I just want to drink it. As he said, to look at it. No.
The cork.
Yep, that's what I'm going for. Can I not take it off? Or do I take it off this way? Wait. Which way do they want me to go? Oh.
Maybe the card is visible through the glass if you look hard enough.
Ball's completely empty. Well, the ball's completely empty.
I guess not.
So I guess there's something else.
Wait, what if you look at the bottom?
Ooh, but. Nope.
This bottle is completely empty.
Okay. Maybe
I'm
I
a fucking idiot.
Wait, was I supposed to?
Maybe you're just supposed to present it.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I think this is a new one. If you want to
It
read
is. I already did.
I did not hear you read it at all. That's okay.
It's in the recording. I read it while
Yeah.
you were reaching for the present button.
Why is it? Why in the bottle?
I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm psychic. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew it was coming. I'm the pull-out king.
Ho ho! So you struck first. I like that.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me.
At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. Okay,
The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable, so I left to order a pizza. Oh, and call the police.
I might as well just press everything. You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout.
Was anyone else on the first floor at that time?
Not a soul. It was in the middle of the night after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the pizza place, and the cops. After making my calls, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone, even though I had just done it. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
And when you returned, the victim was already... He just said that, Apollo. He literally just said it.
You think Apollo listens?
I don't think so, no! No, I don't.
Dead, yes.
Just said that, Apollo. I literally just said that.
I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in. But I'm used to seeing dead bodies.
A little.
He was bleeding from his forehead, after all.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that.
That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin?
For a booty call. Also, I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair.
Uh-huh.
I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Ah, glad to hear you intend to pay. You can pay by sucking my dick. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved, after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Both of these nuts.
Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about?
Justice, you know what you have to do. Hence, the man. He's lying. Expose his dick. Now.
Yes, sir.
In front of the entire court.
I have to think, what's Daddy Phoenix trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere. Okay, I know.
Do-do-do.
Not this one. No.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Mr. Wright, if I may,
You mayn't. Yes.
I've examined the ball and I don't see any card in here.
Did you try taking the cork out?
No.
Hmm? No? Are you stupid? Are you perhaps an idiot?
What? What? Daddy Phoenix surely isn't all you have to say for yourself.
I can't say I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however.
Huh.
Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out. Oh, and a sixth person could have helped.
I said sarcasm.
Mr. Gavin, Daddy Phoenix is your client.
My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. Not even one little drop for pain.
So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear? Like a magic trick.
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Oh!
Push him harder, Justice. Break him. I'm totally innocent.
I'm totally innocent, yeah, you sound like it.
It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Never mind that the witness is our client.
Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore and that I'm gonna be against my boss in the future?
Look at this photograph. Roddy Smith. Discovered.
I
Shoddy.
fucked your mom.
Trapped. Girl was knocked out cold, so I just moved in for the. When I returned, he was dead.
Wait, is this new? Or is this what he said before? I can't remember. No.
It looks like the statement about putting the card in the bottle has disappeared.
Yeah. Well, no, this is the statement there. So, okay. Let's look at the evidence again. Or,
No.
Or can I actually open up the bottle now? Is Apollo not dumb? No. He says I do not want to open up the bottle.
Apollo doesn't have a corkscrew on him.
wish I could. Oh, like, you know, just break it open. Anyway.
Just smashed over Payne's head. No one will miss him.
No one will miss him. Can I do anything with this yet? Probably not. You probably still don't care about this in the back. No, Phoenix, just, you know, why would we take that off Apollo, you know, look at it? Why would we do that?
To be fair, he doesn't have a reason to.
That's true.
Like you suspect there's something under that tape, but it's entirely possible there might not be. It might just be there to hold in the battery.
I would check it, though.
Yeah, you would because you're an adventure game protagonist. Apollo is a lawyer.
Yeah. Nothing I can really do with anything else. So,
Can you examine Apollo's badge?
Can I? That's a good question. Oh my gosh, I can. There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There's many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. 29003? 8?
Yep, 29003.
Yeah, it's a 3. It's a very blurry 3, but it's a 3 alright.
Blame the DS. I don't remember if that was any clearer in the 3DS port. Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now, we'll spit roast him together, right here in the middle of court. Look at this photograph. Shoddy walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. The party don't start till I walk in. I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottom. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. This might be a thing where you just have to press all the statements again, and then at some point a new scene will start.
Yeah, because like I ain't getting any contradictions in this. As far as I'm aware. I don't know, solve them I guess? Let's see if this does the same thing. Okay, we did this. You have dinner with Mr. Gavin. Dines with me quite frequently. Usual spots, usual. I see. Plates. Student walked in 5 minutes. Left. 5 minutes. So 2 of them will pass the restroom during the time. Sample counter. Oh, Mr. Wright. What you said. May have meant. I believe you said that. Pass by the hall. Does some little weak murder. Come on, Mr. Wright. Tell the truth. Why is in the bottle? See my points intense. I'm used to the entrapment. I knew it was coming. Oh, so you already stuck this. I like that. I already tricked the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky, see your head. Lucky they don't. The girl was knocked out cold and was uncontrollable. I left the police. We made the call to the police from the first floor. Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down the hideout. Was anyone else on the first floor at the time? Not so. It was the middle of the night after all. Dark in the room, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It seemed right to leave an injured witness alone. Turn, dead.
When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
And we returned, the victim was already dead. Yes.
Dead,
Okay.
yes. I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in. A little. He was bleeding from his forehead, after all. Alright, I caved in and looked it up.
Am I being dumb?
We both are, kind of. Move one statement back.
Yeah.
Blood When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from the cut on his forehead. Look at crime photo 1.
He has on his hat.
Yep.
Okay. I see now. I am dumb. I did not notice that at all. Because his hat was removed.
Neither did I.
Mr. Wright, if I may, it took me a bit to figure this
mayn't.
out. I'm a little dumb, I'm a little slow, but I figured it out.
Yes?
Take a look at this photograph. Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead, personally. Unless you got X-ray vision. Daddy Phoenix, do you have X-ray vision?
Yes, I'm a Kryptonian. Good point.
Ooh, this is a Bob, hello?
Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it, or you're fired.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court?
Ah, I forgot to mention.
I forgot
Why
to
do I
mention
keep-
something.
I'm not even used to ringing Phoenix anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I forgot to mention something. Starburst, stop stealing my lines.
What game you did this to me in one of the Ace Attorneys too? Which one was it?
Nope.
Yes, you did. I think.
It wasn't Ace Attorney. It was Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh.
the Roxas bit.
Oh, yeah. Right. Right.
I was the one who put that hat on his head.
Eh?
You?
You put the hat on the dead man's head.
He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph, Baldy.
Oh my god.
And
I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head.
Why'd you do a thing like that?
Tampering with evidence.
All I can say is, my be, Your Honor. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene.
So, Miss O'Reilly didn't see it? It being the victim's, his head?
I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Except for the killer. Here we go again.
Mr. Gavin?
Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin?
This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
Phoenix lost his attorney's badge? Oh no.
Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone.
Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never.
Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here.
Eh?
Except for the part where I said I didn't fuck your mom. That was a lie.
That was a lie.
When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well.
a reason.
That reason is right here.
Oh! The tape? cell phone?
Catch.
Ah!
That night, recall that I spoke with Defense Attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation.
Oh, very smart, Daddy Phoenix.
What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good. He turned out to be too good. He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please. Cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that.
Bone china plate?
Oh, nice typo, Capcom. A kind of porcelain. Very smooth and shiny. And not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead.
Court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead.
Wait a second, something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club.
Da, comrade.
Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate, was it?
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court? Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, Discord preview, come on. So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it, Daddy Phoenix?
Daddy fucking Phoenix.
Order. I will have order. Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony?
Well, as the prosecutor, I...
Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes. After which, Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that?
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well. This will be the final recess for the day.
Final battle. April 20th, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this?
May I?
Oh my gosh. Huh? What?
Hello, sir. Please, pick a card.
What's all this about? Is this one okay?
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it.
A trump card?
The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. The game of Ace Attorney, the game of Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. That's all.
An ace? Where do I remember that card from? And there's blood on it. Ooh.
Somebody spilled jam.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2 is 5 aces in all.
It is 5 aces in all, comrade. It is true.
Seen
I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you.
The missing 5th ace! Wait, this splotch of red, is this blood?
I almost thought that said this bitch of red. You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. Here, have a pencil. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it.
This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth? Oh, crazy. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection. It was inside Mr. Wright's
Alright, in the locker.
Daddy Phoenix. Bloody ace added to the court record.
Bloody ace added to the court record.
Type
Bloody
evidence
ace.
of a
Type
mysterious
evidence.
girl.
Received from a mysterious girl.
April 20th, 2:45 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Looking at the bloody ace before we start this. Oh my gosh. Examine. A single drop of blood marks the front of the card. Me.
Anything notable about the back? Besides it being the worst color?
Apparently not. Anyway. Interesting given I'm pretty sure in this the blue was also an ace. That's an ace, I think. No, it's not.
No, it was the king of diamonds.
Ah, King Diamonds. Okay. Anyway.
Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Will the witness state his name and occupation?
Is this force necessary, Your Honor?
Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom.
Yeah.
Have you ever cross-examined a parrot? Mr. Wright has.
Mr. Wright has.
Fine, I'll play along.
First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How big is that dick? Also, how did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
My secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it.
Well, that we recognize
I
that
wouldn't
music.
call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright!
What do you think you're doing over there, Daddy Phoenix? Wow, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo. Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never once taking it off, except for that one time, when he died.
That one time being the instant he was hit.
Oh!
When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime, at the time of the crime.
In other words, you'd have to be the real killer, is what you're trying to say. Not bad, Apollo.
That's shocking. I'm really dumb, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Gavin, what is with that sinister laughter?
I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court. You see, I'm the devil.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well. Allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night?
That fateful night by Christoph Gavin. The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout.
Okay.
It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in this photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright holding a bottle in his hand.
What he's wearing. Okay.
I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright.
Sus.
He's not my Daddy Phoenix anymore.
So you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed.
Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Daddy Phoenix's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client.
Wonder why.
What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand, after all. You can't lie on the witness stand, or else the witch will get you. So you are Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify. And you had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw you had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window.
Mr. Wright?
You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo?
You're so funny, Phoenix. Oh!
Call me Daddy.
Call me Daddy.
Daddy Phoenix, the defense should do. Daddy Phoenix, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant.
He definitely whispered that in Apollo's ear. Call me Daddy.
Mr. Justice, are you prepared to call Daddy Phoenix Daddy?
Dying. Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
Oh, it'll get even weirder.
Press!
Rage.
That man, you mean Mr. Smith?
He was different from the other customers. His aura, shall we say. I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than that. He was an enemy stand user.
Say then, you knew the true nature of your client's job?
Of course, but I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling. That would be illegal.
That would be illegal. Well, it makes sense that you know they were friends after all.
Worried for my friend, I returned to the club. My ex-friend, I guess I should say. You see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score.
I see. What happens now?
Basement. Basement. That little window. You mean the one used to keep watch up the stairs?
Yes, a relic of the ancient past. The Black Marketeers used it, I believe.
Why did you go through the trouble of peeking through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room?
I didn't want to upset Daddy Phoenix, you see.
Upset Daddy Phoenix?
Oh, yeah.
Oh god!
Yes, what if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Or their fucking. Bad form, to say the least.
So far everything he's saying makes sense. How do you know if it was right after the murder?
Really, no need to shout, Justice.
Sorry.
I was just getting to that part in my testimony, you impatient dick. There he is. The coolest defense in the West we know and love. Even when you're standing up there on the witness stand, some things never change. I was afraid you changed too, Daddy Phoenix, but you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours.
With friends like these, who needs enemies? Victim was dead! By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene?
Precisely. You see, he wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head when he was dead.
And then
I could write a song about that.
And then Daddy Phoenix came along and replaced his hat.
Oh yeah, call me Daddy, baby.
Can you describe the crime scene for us?
Unconscious.
Bald head, an unconscious girl, and Daddy Phoenix holding a bottle in his hand.
Those were the only three at the scene of the crime.
Yes, as far as I saw at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? First off, Gavin, that would just be silly. But why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. Your mom's left boob and your mom's right boob.
I knew it was gonna be a your mom joke. I don't know why.
First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend, my ex-friend.
There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime!
Justice, I just said I saw no one, not a soul.
But that goes against what Mr. Wright said!
Ah yes, this mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question, then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary?
How can I show something I can't find myself? Blood.
On the card.
Good to know you're smarter than Apollo.
Yeah.
Remember Apollo? The card that was swapped out was the 5th ace.
The 5th ace? right.
Well, Mr. Justice? The question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason?
It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out.
Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the fifth ace?
Because he fucked your mom, Your Honor. Oh, I didn't mean to press check. I meant to press present. I... Stunned. My reason is, this!
Is that an ass?
Why it's got blood on it? Right next to the spade. Oh, what?
This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be? Could this be the missing fifth ace? Not the mything.
The mything.
Inconceivable. How could you using that word? I do not think it means what you think it means. What are you doing with that card?
Well, that's
totally
the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? Is he actually the killer? Oh my god. It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl. It can't actually be something to incriminate him, can it?
Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder occurred, comrade. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock and trade, after all. She's like Gambit from X-Men. No. Impossible! Unacceptable! The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud! A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason?
Oh, I get it now, Daddy Phoenix. I get it.
The reason for the treason.
The reason for
The treason.
For the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
Take another look at the photo and the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards?
I suppose.
The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Why would the victim's blood being at the crime scene be something that needed to be concealed? Oh?
No idea.
Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. I gave you a shitty answer. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. Somehow. This is baseless conjecture. Baseless! Ben Judd, is that you? Oh, I assure you, It's quite based. Based and red-pilled. What? What are you talking about? Based on what? It's amazing, really.
This is so Phoenix. All his cases are like this, and this is how he argues. This is not shocking. This is not shocking.
How a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo,
Yes?
try picturing the scene of the crime
Ooh!
in your head.
I can see it! I can see also
your mental
clearly!
mind palace.
Oh, Jesus. 3D.
I can see it. I can see it polygonally. The murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there is one decisive problem with this scene.
Well, what is it?
Let's keep it simple. Shall we? Draw a card. Thank you, Discord. Whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? Kind of tricky to answer in all honesty. Because I feel like I've got it narrowed down to two in this prompt. It's either the killer or number two.
Let's try the killer. Why is this doing this? Well, for one thing, the killer in this is in the wrong place, I think.
You think? Mr. Justice, your job here is not to think, but to know. Good boys don't think. Now, be a good boy.
Just looking at you reminds me of the old days. Not the good old days, per se. Hello, penalty.
Cool.
How does a good old penalty sound? Let's try that one more time. And, Mr. Justice, think before you sink.
So make a save state real quick.
I thought you made this before answering.
No, I was silly. That's fine. So the car was in the victim's hands. And there's a drop of blood on it.
The killer's position does make sense to question, because how could he have killed the victim from across the table?
Yeah.
But I guess what they're really asking you to say is that Kristoff's position doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so 2? Watch out, this is still wrong. This is right. The second witness's position is the problem.
I think.
The second witness? That would be Monsieur Gavin, right?
The second witness's position is far less problematic than yours right now, Justice. You're getting fired. Or perhaps perilous is a better word.
I cannot see what the bloody card has to do with the second witness's location. I'm afraid you're more than in peril of a penalty this... What the fuck?
I made the save state.
I've got the guide open, so...
Hang on. Well, I mean, I can just... What about if it's the victim itself? Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem?
I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice.
Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. You'd think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him.
Ah,
Take a look at the photo again.
no.
If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards.
Why, that's right. So, what does this mean?
Phoenix.
Sure is nice of you to cooperate with me, Discord preview. And my Discord is frozen again.
Great.
I'm looking at the judge with a blank text box right now.
Yeah, it's a Phoenix line.
Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs.
Swivel chairs? Oh man.
Apollo, try turning the chair around in your mental mind palace.
The chair was facing the other way.
It would have to be. Do we have to... Not much advice. The victim's chair was facing away from the table. We have to assume that this is what happened. Sure.
When Mr. Wright informed from returning the... When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo.
That would mean the killer turned the chair back around.
Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know now the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction.
Again.
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we?
I don't know if we can.
Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime?
Now is its Kristoff's location. The victims? The killers? I'm
Present
trying.
the K on the plans.
Yeah. The killer? The killer's location?
The K.
Ah, go on the killer. Go on it. There you go.
You don't need to be that. You don't need to be that exact with your positioning.
I feel like I do though. The victim was struck from the front, correct? Oh, okay, yeah.
Indeed.
Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front?
Maybe for you.
Seeing where his indicator currently is?
I would think it'd be quite hard. Yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Neither does your face. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Payne's mom. Up top. Come on. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram.
Assailant? What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be.
Let's sit through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else.
Okay.
Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front?
Right in front of him, Your Honor. That's like literally anywhere over here, but I don't know what side they want me to do it in. Probably just closer to the
From
window.
No, you're on the wrong track. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front?
What do you mean?
From the front.
Am I overthinking this? Probably. Just gonna make the same thing. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? When you have to be right in front of the victim, like, I don't understand the question. I'm confused.
You might be dumb.
What do you mean? Because I would think if you strike the victim from the front, you would have to be in front of the victim to strike them.
Yes, that's all it is.
So literally just in front? Like this? Is that what they want me to do? Okay.
Yeah, from the front.
The killer had to be standing, here.
You get points for flair, but that's about all you get.
I thought I was onto something there too. Is that not front enough?
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible, because I'm Winston Payne and I'm always right. The victim is facing a solid cupboard.
He was hiding in the cupboard, Your Honor.
Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above?
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that at the very moment of the crime...
He became Spider-Man. Wait, I know! At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there!
What's this now?
I mean, that's the only explanation. Right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard.
Your Honor?
What?
There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Daddy Phoenix.
I do my best. But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard with your touchscreen. Thank you. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here.
Oh my gosh. That means that Kristoff could have looked out the window. Which means he's the killer, Your Honor.
Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my, no. What's this?
What is it now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact.
Huh? Oh, dang!
Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. Just call me Sherlock Holmes II.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime?
It's your mom, Your Honor. Daddy Phoenix fucked her.
Are you also a Kryptonian?
About this cupboard. Are we okay with assuming it was moved?
Sure, why not?
Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs!
Ah!
That's right! Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see it. Someone like Mr. Gavin!
What did you say? Oh, is the coolest defense in the West suddenly not so cool? Because I'm the cool, and we all know it, and we've all known it all along.
Yes.
Don't expect me to play along with your little game, Daddy Phoenix. It's only a game until someone gets killed, Monsieur Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly. Where did you witness the crime scene from?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Order! This is a court of law and I will have order!
We just had now received word from our investigative teams at the Borscht Blow Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, I didn't know Meekins had a brother who was a bailiff.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, it turns out there is a secret passage behind it.
What?
Yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about.
I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it.
A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of Larry Law.
So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go?
The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht. No doubt, comrade. Just like our killer.
Shock. Oh my gosh.
You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo?
I see it,
Elementary, my dear Justice.
but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand.
Always trust witches.
At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Something.
Dare I ask what really happened that night?
Actually, I think we can probably figure out ourselves at this point. That night...
I can't, I'm dumb.
That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny.
And kissing.
There he crouched hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Oh. Eek. Why did you do that? Here, I'll get help. Olga O'Reilly was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shadi Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout.
The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside.
He wheeled his chair around to look and smack!
After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence that we're not letting the audience in on. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime.
Did it? Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red!
Nerg!
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly, truly sorry I had to see this day come, Monsieur Gavin.
Ellipsis.
Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Payne,
Yes, Your Honor.
the prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Daddy Phoenix, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion.
Whoa!
Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Monsieur Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest. Immediately.
Well, here he comes.
Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. I love killing.
It's my favorite pastime, you see.
It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand.
Oh, dirty.
Your point, Monsieur Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick.
Excuse me?
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else.
Oh my god, illegal evidence.
And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney and boyfriend.
Illegal evidence.
Let me ask you, Monsieur Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course, this bottle, for instance.
The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking.
How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? Not just any fingerprints, but not just any fingerprints, am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle were rubbed upside down.
Yeah, 'cause you can't drink like that, obviously.
Well, I mean, you could, but it would be a real slovenly display.
Listen.
It would be a real hedonistic look.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court and this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how the caught fish squirms to last. Well, Apollo?
Yes?
Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that.
Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a ball upside down other than to look?
Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one.
Is there really another?
Take another look at the court record.
Well, let's see. I'm an attorney. Very important. There was a blow to the head. Very important. This was the crime scene. Very nice.
Do you not have your controller with you?
My controller?
Yeah.
Not
'Cause
using.
I feel like using the D-pad to go through the evidence would be faster than clicking on the arrows.
Yeah. Grape juice. Oh my gosh. We have this. Oh my gosh, hat removed. Amazing. We have the cell phone, which probably not important. We have this. You know, good times, good times.
Look at that. Look at Olga's photo again. Okay, if you were sitting in that piano seat right there, like Phoenix, and you wanted to grab a bottle of grape juice out of the crate, how would you do it?
Yeah, I have a feeling it was this picture. Obviously by the bottom of it. I mean, the upside down, which is the top of the bottle. Yeah.
I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight.
How about you just say the answer in plain words? Why you have to play tricks with me?
For fun.
It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions, indeed. Well, Mr. Justice?
Mr. Gavin said that the court, in this case, demand an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done.
Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down?
It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Place that ball on the floor next to your chair.
Excuse me? On the floor?
Yes, now, reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. See? You actually go to pick up the ball by its neck. Not its, what would you call that? Not its body?
Torso.
Yeah. With your fingers upside down! Look at the photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. Monsieur Gavin must have thought we were fucking idiots.
Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then, too.
Basically, you used the ball on the table to do the deed, but then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the balls from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon!
Order, order, order! What do you have to say to these charges, Monsieur Gavin?
I've been caught.
Fascinating. I'm still very hot.
Yeah.
So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection.
What?
Phoenix didn't even tell Apollo to say that. Apollo got that idea on his own. You claim that I switched the bottle. Where is your proof?
Proof? Well, that's a little bit too far, sir.
As I thought. More baseless conjecture. Oh, they're gonna find the actual murder weapon in the cupboard or something.
Yeah, probably.
I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
Oh, this makes sense why the note wasn't in the grape juice bottle now.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Ah, yes. I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Ball Club, comrade.
What, are you going to test that for fingerprints too? I would be surprised if anyone were on that but his.
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake. True. That bottle won't bear a trace of or of anything.
Say, Apollo,
Yes?
why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle?
But why? Does it have a
Do it,
secret
bitch.
message in it?
Do it, bitch.
Daddy Phoenix?
That bottle will solve this case once and for all.
What? That's some bottle. Ooh, what could that be? Ooh. There's something inside the bottle. Now he pops off the cork.
Oh, it wasn't even a cork, it was screwed on.
What's this?
That card? It can't be! Recall that unpleasant bitch's testimony for a moment.
Miss Olga O'Reilly?
Yeah, our little swindling devochka. I'm sure that means bitch or something in Russian.
Hey, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Wait! This isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card! Yeah, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
Five of hearts. Is this your card? Bottles were swapped. And the only one who could have done that was the fourth person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Oh my god, he's psychic.
Oh my gosh.
He's raising his power level.
Mr. Gavin?
That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Daddy Phoenix?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago. My past is like my logic. Straight and true. Unlike my sexuality, which is bisexual. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Here, Apollo, point over here at your boss. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right?
Head to head.
I am very pretentious. Ellipses.
This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
No, Mr.
Isn't
Payne,
anyone-
shut the fuck up.
Isn't anyone gay for pain? Nobody's gay for pain.
I believe this time we've finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christophe Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now, and nobody's gay for me.
I see. That's not surprising. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shoddy Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession, to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good. Mr. Wright?
Yeah?
7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch.
Christophe Gavin is a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer and a fuck buddy.
He was extremely talented, to be sure, with his tongue.
I needed two things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
A dark time is coming to our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own court system. We have to set it right.
Mr. Wright.
Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. As Daddy Phoenix.
Daddy Phoenix.
Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Daddy Phoenix.
Very guilty. Okay.
Hey, that's my joke.
I can steal your jokes.
I'm taking you to court. Court is adjourned.
April 20th, 4:28 p.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3.
Okay, you're the robot now?
You stole my joke, I stole your role.
Okay, cool. Love.
Thanks, Apollo. You came through, just like I knew you would.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. I'm pretty dumb, Daddy Phoenix. It was you who.
Oh yeah, call me Daddy, baby.
It was you who cornered Mr. the killer.
I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your power level.
Ability?
Yes. A sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
Wait, I wonder if he means... I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. What's this weird vibe I'm getting?
She's so turned on, I can hear it.
What? What was that, Daddy Phoenix?
You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself.
The answer? Right.
Yes, that's my name.
Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin.
What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Huh? Wait. You don't know, do you?
This locket is the key. Don't know he just never answers Apollo's questions with a yes or no.
He really... Apollo has so many questions. He's just like, you can figure out yourself, Apollo. Don't worry. You got this. You got this. Apollo's like, huh?
This is why I vibe with Daddy Phoenix. He's exactly the kind of mentor I would be.
Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. your
witch.
daughter, right?
That's right. She's my daughter.
What's having seizure? What's wrong with this? Okay. What's happening?
You know, you were right about this locket.
Eh?
I took this off his neck the night he died. I was just like, yoink! But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait! But that's perjury!
You testified! You said that locket was yours!
Okay, I don't know why that turned off. Anyway. You testified!
What
You said
turned
the
off?
locket was yours! My headphones. I have them plugged in, but
Oh, okay.
they turned off. I was like, okay.
I said no such thing, actually.
Huh? Oh, whoops, didn't mean that.
Yes, you did. I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth.
Wait, but then, why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it?
Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one.
Fuck you, Phoenix.
Give it
Just
time,
tell
you'll
us
find the
fucking
bisexual path.
answer.
You're just getting started with your career.
Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs.
Apollo,
Yes?
how about coming to work for me?
Eh? You mean at the Ray & Co. law offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it.
You're the cross-examined parrot guy. And the almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas guy.
Oh my god.
I can't
Almost
imagine that
Christmas
to be
means
true,
it
but-
wasn't Christmas. I love that line. Like, iconic. Anyway.
I can't imagine that to be true, but
Wait, but didn't you cross-examine a parrot? Also, you're not a...
oh, I turned in my best. Yes, I'm not an attorney anymore.
That incident 7... Okay, that was 7 years ago. A legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Daddy Phoenix! He's reached a sad conclusion, and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence.
Forged evidence? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty witch's trick.
The piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. Just seemed, well, too perfect. I bet this was the forged evidence. It was your mom, Your Honor. Is it literally just the bloody ace?
Yeah, because remember, Gavin. Before it came to light that Gavin was the killer, he was like, "This is obviously forged evidence." And Phoenix is like, "How would you know that? Only
Yeah.
the real killer would know that."
Not check.
Yes, check.
Yes, check. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright?
Yeah. That card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. AKA Monsieur Gavin. Leaving the wrong card in its place, luckily for us. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud! A fraud? How can you be so sure, Mr. Killer? I would think the only person who could claim it was the real killer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago.
Then, you really...
Yeah, I forged this card.
You? Phoenix Wright forged evidence?
Yeah, all I did was tell Trucy to go out, buy a pack of cards, take the ace of spades, put a bit of jam on it. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real.
But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney! Wait, you just said you weren't an attorney, right? Oh, man.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
I'm an attorney. So it's true.
Your mom's an attorney.
The rumor is true! 7 years ago.
None of that matters much now, does it?
Tell us what goddamn happened! Grah!
You're gonna have to wait till the end of the game to find out what happened.
Fucking, of course. I punched him.
Ow! It's your story from here on out, Apollo. I'm not the protagonist anymore. Not till the next game, at least. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office address. Drop in if you like.
Mr. Wright.
Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Sure you can!" next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time.
And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at that time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. Now that I'm done with that first trial, I don't have to be a sad little boy anymore.
But you're still a sad little boy, because you're still Apollo Justice and you're fine.
A new episode has been added. Turnabout Corner. We will not be getting to this tonight, though. Can I save the game? Oh.
Yeah,
What was the start? Was this start?
press A.
Well, that was fun tonight, Twitch Crown. You can catch me again with this on Friday because the strike has been lifted at my university. So that means I'll be going back to school on Wednesday. So I'll be back with this on Friday. And you can catch us on Mikey's channel tomorrow, twitch.tv/Mikeybuster, for some Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, where, how many times can Mikey die? A lot.
Yes.
Because of critical mode.
Yes, many times.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed this case, and yeah. See y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.